Okay, back to the story of my mother, Pauline, or Pasqualine. Uh, as you know, she was 18 years old. She was a purchased bride, brought to America to marry another Italian gentleman who was rather nice. But my father met her first at the railroad station, and he talked her into marrying him. And she was 18 and very pretty. Later I'm going to show pictures, which you'll see. Uh, she married him at 18. He was 19. And he died at 40 of blood poisoning. And during that period of time, we had 13 kids. He did. And do you know that I can only think of 12? So I'm going to go with what I can remember. I know it was 13 because everybody told me it was 13, but 2 died before I was born. I am going to try on this blog here to tell you about my brothers and sisters and maybe some incidents that occurred with them. The firstborn by my mother was one that died very early in life, and the secondborn was one that died early in life. One was like 5 or 6 years old. Then my sister Anita was born, and Anita was like the second mother. I mean, she really, as more kids came along, my mother counted on Anita to help raise the kids. So Anita she dropped out of school and she went to beauty school to become a beautician. And she became a beautician, and she was making a little bit of money to help my mother. In addition to that, she was helping raise the kids as they come along, one after another. So after my sister Anita came my brother Louis. And Louis, God, just the best looking guy you ever saw. He was strong. When he was young, he was an athlete. He was a pitcher, baseball pitcher, and he could do anything. The man could fix anything. And but Louis was one that got married early and left. So after Louis, by the way, Louis is many times referred to as Bob. His second wife did not like the name Louis. So she talked him into changing his name, and he did. He changed it to Bob, which is really a good name anyway. So after Bob, and boy, this is really burning my brain. After Bob, my brothers, I'm going to give you 2 brothers. My brother Batu and my brother Johnny were come along. Batu was good looking. Of course, all Italians are good looking. But very good looking, and he was in an automobile accident at the age of 21, killed. I was born then, and I was like maybe 3 years old, 4 years old, but I can remember hearing my mother crying. They put the caskets right in the house, in the living room, and sitting in front of that casket, open casket, crying day and night. And the whole family was just miserable. No radio, no singing. Nobody is supposed to do anything but grieve. So that was my brother Batu. Now, after Batu, bear with me, guys, because this is kind of putting things in order. We had my brother Timmy. Now, Timmy was called Guido. Timmy didn't like the name Guido, so he changed it to Bill William. But then when he was, and by the way, Timmy was in like 3 wars. He was in World War II, he was in the Korean War, and headed for Vietnam. So he did everything. My mother had 4 stars in her window during World War II. That meant 4 of her sons were serving our country. And 2 of them died. Timmy was not one that died in the service. Timmy was a smart one, but he put in his time, and he was in Korea right at the Yalu River when all the Chinese came across. And he used to tell us how he had to just kick butt to get out of there. Thank God for the Marines, because the Marines, he was Army. The Marines were pulling back too, but they covered their butts. They took everybody that was a Marine or an American. I mean, leave no man behind, and they meant it. So my brother Timmy, who's not alive now, but he was born. And then my brother Johnny came along. God, Johnny was the best liked of all the brothers. And he laughed all the time. He kidded around a lot, and he paid attention to me and Frank and my sister Tony. We were the young ones. And my brother Johnny would bring us little gifts, you know, or candy bar or whatever. And he worked. He worked hard. My brother Johnny became a railroad telegrapher, or, you know, da-da-da-da. In fact, I had to learn it when I went in the Air Force. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, CQ. Anyway, my brother Johnny came along, and he went to work. And most of these family members were dropping out of school anywhere from Anita, who was like in the 6th grade or 7th grade, to Frank, who was 12th grade, ready to graduate, and he dropped out. So after my brother Johnny, who died of a heart attack, and he was spading the garden when it happened. He was so well liked, everybody liked him, but he was tough, and he wouldn't put up with anything from anybody. And I remember one incident where we were in Madison-on-the-Lake, which is close to Ashtabula, and my brother Johnny got in a fight, fist fight, you know. But it wasn't a barroom fight, it was a parking lot fight. Some guy was really messing around with some girl. I don't know if it was his wife, his girlfriend, but he was slapping the hell out of her. My brother Johnny, you know, stepped in and said, "You don't treat a woman like that." So the guy jumped Johnny. He was sorry he did, I guarantee that. So my brother Johnny wiped the hood of his car with him. So Johnny was the one that everybody loved. And then after Johnny, we had Adolf. You talk about good looking. And what a singer. Great singer. Well, as soon as the war started, World War II, Adolf enlisted. And I remember him home on leave. And I remember that I'm like 5 years old, 6 years old, or whatever. 7, maybe older, I don't know. And he could sing just like Perry Como, Vic Damone, like any of the other Italian singers. He was really good. And he used to sing around the house. My mother insisted that singing was part of life. And Adolf was sent to Burma. And he was a point man. I don't know if you know what a point man is, but it's someone who's sent ahead of the squad or platoon or whatever to make sure that they don't run into trouble. That was Adolf's job, and of course, the point man gets killed first. So he died, and they sent the body back to our house, closed casket, and again, grieving in the family. I don't like to talk about that too much. Those are not pleasant memories at all. So after Adolf, Leonard, my brother Leonard, who is now dead, died at the age of 21. His outfit, I thought he was with an airborne division, but he wasn't. But his outfit was the first to cross the Rhine into Germany. So he fought through the whole campaign of Europe. At the age of 21, he was getting out of the service. We'd won the war. My brother Leonard was coming home, and he was a football player. I mean, built like Adonis, and good looking. Now, he had a bigger nose, but really good looking. A woman's man. And he was going to go to Kent State University in Ohio, and he was at the university. He was going to use his GI Bill of Rights. So he was at the university, he was checking out the dormitory, and he walked out into the fire escape. So he was going to leave by going down the fire escape, went to the end of it. There's a kind that go down slow when you get to the end of it till it hits the ground. Well, he went to the end of the fire escape, it wouldn't move, didn't go down. So he's standing there, and then bam, the cable broke, the whole fire escape dropped, and one of those heavy weights that bring the fire escape up and down hit him in the head, killed him instantly. That's another real bad memory because we had to go to Kent State University and claim the body. I went on that one, so I must have been 9 or 10. And weather was just pure fog. And my sister Anita's husband drove, and he just followed a semi-truck all the way. He was a nice guy, real nice guy. His name was Tony Caraccio. So anyway, the mortician at the morgue there said, "What a waste. The man had a perfect body. He's built just all muscle." And so that hurt, really hurt. So then after Leonard, that was my brother Leonard. I'm trying to keep straight here. I think my sister Tony was born. Oh God, Tony suffered the most. She went to beauty school too. And so the two sisters